And we're live.
It's Kelly from P&R Specialties. Today we've got Mark. His last name, we can't say it because he's in witness protection.
Just for the time being. Just for the time being.
We're going to work on his 2021 Land Cruiser. This is a 21, right?
Yep.
21 Land Cruiser. I guess the real question I want to know is, why this? Why'd you do this?
They last forever. I mean, they just have a reputation of going wherever you want them to go, beating them up, and they come out alive. You take this in to tow out your Land Rover, and
well, it was broke down anyhow,
so not a big deal. So that and the fact that I wanted some of the V8. I like driving a V8. I like to be able to tow things. I like to be able to haul things, and it's just a super comfy car for everyday use. And then when you want to go and take it off the backcountry and play, it's going to be fun.
So Mark's got kids and a wife that hopefully will go with him sometimes.
Maybe.
Is the plan camping and overlanding, or just something that you can cruise down the roads and have the kids with you and you know it's going to get you home?
Everything in between. Down the road, take it in the backcountry, take it in a plan. Go out and camp, haul a trailer with it, play with the kids, have a good time.
So Mark's also got a really nice trimmer that we might shoot a picture of too and throw in there. So he's not familiar with this whole program, but we're going to do some pretty fun stuff to this. He has literally melted his credit card, and I'm looking at a whole pile of parts over here we'll show you. But this should be a lot of fun. He has picked some great items, and I think it's going to be a really, really nice build. I like the fact that, and we talked off camera a little bit about this, he's got a really nice rig. He purchased a great vehicle, and we're not putting any crap on it. We're putting all high quality parts, and it shows. It'll work good, it'll last, and those are important. I mean, he's doing the things that a lot of people skip, like all the undercarriage protection that you don't have to worry about a hole in your gas tank when you're out on the road, off the road. So it should be fun.
And Mark, is this your daily driver as well? Or,
it is, yeah.
So you need to also be able to have it so you can go down the road with it, not have it be only dirt trails and gravel roads.
Yep. So, I mean, if I really want to beat something up, I'll take the truck, hunting rig, all that stuff, just practicality. But daily driver, being able to, get into a parking lot without having to drive an F-250 is, it's convenient.
It's kind of a novel concept.
So it's one of those little things. But no, it's toy slash daily driver.
So we talked a little bit before you were having your midlife crisis. No, you were wanting a vehicle that was fun to drive, and you were thinking like a Porsche or something like that, and you chose to go this because it's in better.
We live in Prineville, Oregon. I don't want to be that guy. I mean, down the road you can have those toys, but I mean we're in farm country, and this for some reason won't stand out as badly. And the cool factor of like, hey, this is something that's usable. Practicality is something fun. So like, hey, we can take this thing out and rally and have a good time, and that's a big factor.
Yeah, Porsche probably wouldn't be the best.
Not so good. No.
Besides, then you just look like a rich dentist or something.
Yeah,
who would want to be that?
Who would want to be that guy? Yeah, that sucks.
Okay, well, that's really all the questions. I think we're gonna show you what we're putting on. All right, so we're gonna go through the parts that we're putting on Mark's Land Cruiser that we just talked to. Let's start with, we're doing ARB skid plates front to back. Protect some of those very expensive parts underneath there. We are doing a full Old Man Emu lift, bypass remote reservoir front struts, bypass remote reservoir rear shocks and springs, doing Old Man Emu upper control arm replacement, a host of Baja design and rigid lights. The light bars are rigid. That's going to go in the grill. The big Baja light is going to go on an A-pillar mount. The little amber Baja light is a replacement for the factory fog lights. And then there's a couple of flush mount scene Baja lights that we're going to put in the back bumper. Then we're doing a behind the bumper mount winch mount. Obviously, getting a Warren winch, 8,000 pound, and this thing's going to get pretty sweet looking Icon wheels, wrapped with 285/70/17 BFG KO2s. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, we're doing a switch panel by Switch Pros, which will go into a custom dash panel. Fits right into the dash, looks pretty cool. And then we'll control all of our wiring with that, as well as have the ability to run the winch from inside the cabin if you want to. Anyways, that's a highlight. Let me get at it. What do you think, Bryce? It's going to be awesome. What's your favorite part?
Back we're making a RAV4 off-road vehicle.
RAV4. Yeah. Apparently it's an inside joke. All of Mark's buddies have been giving him crap about buying a RAV4. I'll tell you what, if that's a RAV4, it's a damn nice RAV4. No doubt about it. This RAV4 grew some extra cylinders, so it's, yeah, it's a darn nice rig. So Bryce is sticking tape on here. What we're doing is measuring from the fender lip to the center hub on all four corners. And this just makes it so we don't forget. But when we're all done, of course, we'll remeasure. And although we're really not concerned about how much higher the truck gets, we want to make sure that the products do what they say they're going to do. And more importantly, when you get done, if you find that you've got a corner that's higher or lower than it's supposed to be, we know to address it right away rather than the customer noticing it down the road. I mentioned when I was up front, it's got exhaust system. I think I said Magnuson, but it's MagnaFlow exhaust. And let's see if I can figure this out. Sesame. And then also, it's got this really cool set of front runner drawers. Things are built like a safe. Really cool. Anyhow, so you can put all this other stuff in there, and then there's side storage on these little guys too. Holy moly. They must figure you need to get pulled out a lot, so they made those really tight. Tight like a tiger. Alright, we got the whole front end pulled apart, which was super fun. Bryce enjoyed every minute of it. Right, Bryce? Yep. Now, we think we're back into the reinstallation mode. Alright, on this side, under the front, we're going to be putting on the Old Man Emu bypass reservoir struts, okay, and upper control arm. First step is we got to get the ball joint loose. I took this loose for the ABS wire, and then we're going to take, see that nut I got loose, that's the bottom of the strut. We'll have to disconnect the upper control arms, and should be it. as you can see, we got the whole front end of the 200 pulled apart. Right now we are midstream of adding the behind the bumper winch bracket and winch, obviously. Not winch.
Does not come with a free monkey with his hand stuck
No,
under it?
no monkeys involved. No monkeys were harmed in the installation of this winch.
Well,
Anyhow, on the passenger side over here, we got factory control. Oh, first, got a whole stack of parts that came off of it. We're just about ready to put the Old Man Emu upper control arm in. Bryce is tightening up the top bolts on the strut. And we've got to mount the remote reservoir, and I think throw the upper controller in, tight bolts, we're ready to go. Okay, we kind of got things wrapped up here on the right front corner. Bryce has been knocking it out. We got Old Man Emu upper control arms. One thing I wanted to point out here, the whole purpose of the control arm like this is, look at the top surface of this ball joint. This thing's almost flat, and the suspension is at full droop right now. That's the key. We want parts to live, and that's what you get when you get quality parts. Old Man Emu, double adjustable, actually triple adjustable, because you can adjust ride height, rebound and compression valving. Remote reservoir. The reservoir is tucked back here behind this skid or the splash guard with a bracket that comes with the kit. Super nice, high quality parts, fit like they're supposed to. It's going to be a great riding rig.
and we're live.
I didn't slide very good. All right, start it here. Oh, hi Kyle.
Hi, Kelly.
All right, day 2 of Land Cruiser 200 build. We've got Brad, kind of like a Sasquatch sighting right there. We don't see him very often in the videos anyhow. We got a whole bunch of stuff we took off. Hopefully it's all going to get replaced with more parts. You can see some of the casualties of the new stuff. But up front here, we're kind of in the reinstall mode. I mentioned earlier, but this is the hidden winch mount we're putting on. Obviously new Warren winch. We've got the control packs stripped off of it. That's going to mount down here. That's going to be have the ability to be controlled by the switch pros panel inside. This rigid light is going to be roughly right here, tucked behind the grill, so I haven't worked that out completely. Cool little Baja designs. These are actually application specific lights. They're going to go in the factory fog light holes. ARB skid plates are going on. This toe point is one of those. This Baja design light is going to get, well, 2 of them obviously, are going to get mounted on A-pillar mounts up the back of the hood. But as you can see, on the front of the 200, yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff happening back here. We're not going to put the bumper cover and stuff on just yet because we want to run all the wires, heavy cables and everything up to the battery, which is behind this light here, and get that, you know, nice and tucked up out of the way so we won't have any issues. update here on the Toyota 200 we're working on. As you can see, it's down on the ground. We've got the rest of the suspension in. So in the rear, we put Old Man Emu kit in as well. All there is in the rear basically is replacement coil springs, which are heavier spring rate and a little bit taller. And then, of course, again, double adjustable remote reservoir Old Man Emu shocks as well. At the beginning of this project, we put marks on all 4 corners. We measured the ride height. And what we're measuring is from the bottom of the fender lip to the center of the hub. You can see here we're at 19 5/8 pre-4. And this isn't super scientific, but 22 5/8. That's right where we want to be. So I've already measured all 4 corners. We came up within a 1/16 of an inch. We were 2 inches all the way around, which is perfect. We did is we kept the ride height recommendation from Old Man Emu on the front coilovers. They have a height set for adding a winch or a bumper, which we obviously added a winch. So we actually ended up just leaving it where it was and turned out real good. So we're going to take this thing over to City Garage here in Prineville and get an alignment done on it real quick, bring it back, and then we're going to finish up some wiring and rock rails.
Okay, it's about 3:30 on day 3 of the work. Brad is doing the cut and polish for the flush mount lights in the rear. As you can see, we've got some of our tools. Very important to get those to fit just right, not to overshave. Unlike Kyle, who has made that mistake before. And around front, we have Kelly, Luna, of course,
I didn't make that mistake.
and Bryce doing a test fit on the tire and wheel that we're going to be putting on, or wheels that we're going to be putting on, which I personally am really digging the style of. So, good choice, Mark.
That's why I told you to get a socket, because it's going to be in the hole.
And Kelly just got back from City Garage with the alignment and everything in place.
They said my head's still in alignment. It's all good.
And the vehicle?
Oh, it's good too.
Oh, perfect. Alrighty, well, we got a few more things to wrap up here today, and we'll be one step closer to being done. We wanted to take a moment to run through what we're doing in this time lapse. Brad is connecting all of the wires for the SP9100 control panel to the control module itself. On the wires, we have labeled pieces of shrink tube for organization and to help with diagnosis if something was to happen. We prefer to use heat shrink connectors for wiring, and we'll be adding additional wire loom afterwards. One of the main reasons to use a control panel like the ones that Switch Pros makes is to allow for more cohesive use with factory functions. This means we'll be able to hook the reverse lights in so they can manually be activated or automatically activated when shifting into reverse. We'll show a demonstration on all the functions in a moment, but the last part to look for is when you see Brad establishing a ground point on the side of the engine compartment. It's super important when you're adding anything electrical to try and do your best to keep wires and connections neat and contained and out of the way of potential hazards and rub points, especially when you have a high power application that's going to be for, such as a winch. Okay, it is the end of day 5 on the Land Cruiser build. We are 99% done. We've got the tires mounted on the new Icon wheels, getting ready to put them on so we can do final balancing. And also got all these lights installed and everything plugged into the Switch Pros control panel. A lot of fun features that we can do with that. For instance, obviously we can turn on just the markers, but we can also do the the light bar in the middle, and of course the Baja lights up at the top there, which, I mean, it's not coming across very good on video right now, but I can't see except for the camera screen, so that's how bright they are. Outside of that, we also, alongside the rock sliders that we put on, of course, we've done the lights back here, but they're actually plugged in as reverse lights, so you can turn them on independently, but they do automatically come on and turn off when you go into reverse and come out of reverse. Now, Kelly has been controlling all this with his phone, because all the Switch Pros panels can be controlled with your phone, but even when you light them up manually, so Kelly, if you'll just turn them all on, you see they light up already here, but you can still, in fact, remotely control them or manually control them. Now, everything, of course, has to go through a panel that we just have under the hood, which you guys saw in the time lapse earlier, but it's just mounted in by the battery. You can kind of see it tucked way in there. So, outside of that, we just got wheels and a winch. We have a different fair lead we're putting on. Is that correct, Kelly?
Yep. One little cool thing that Kyle was talking about here. So here's the app that you put on your phone. So what we did here is, because that winch is buried under the bumper, getting your plug-in into it is kind of tough. It's doable, but it's kind of tough. So what we have here is we've got a remote on, so this gives power to the winch, and then I've got winch control in, winch control out. You can also run all that, of course, from the panel inside the truck.
Alrighty, well, that's gonna wrap up for day 5, and let's go home, Kelly. Luna, you want to go home?
I want to go home.
Let's go home.
About as like in the corner, so it feels like it's got more lean to it than it did before to you. Obviously, I never drove it, but it feels pretty tight to me still. So
Go left.
go straight.
Go straight up.
Yeah, go bounce around the rocks. They won't care. The really rough stuff's just to the left as you go through the gate here.
Can't even feel anything. It's crazy.
It's just that good, right?
That's pretty incredible.
Is it better than it was?
Oh God, hell yeah! Are you
Good.
kidding me? That's ridiculous.
I mean, this is way softer than my Raptor, and I thought the Raptors were stupidly soft, you know? But no one listens to that damn thing. Now you got the tires all dirty, you can do it. Holy mackerel. Everybody came out today.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, it drives just as smooth as it did before.
Turn left here if you can. It's a good bump. Whee! Man, it doesn't let it roll. That's crazy.
No, it doesn't roll.
It's
or
awesome.
nothing.
Like,
Yeah,
it's so good.
yeah, it doesn't roll at all. It's great.
Tell any difference in acceleration, or is it?
It's a little bit less, but you kind of figure we just
Yeah.
added a whole bunch of weight.
Yeah.
Take this one.
Yeah.
But not noticeably like,
Nothing
oh, this
major.
sucks. Yeah. It won't push me fully to get the supercharger in there.
Not too bad.
Not
Well,
yet.
imagine doing that on like a Tacoma or
Straight,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, just Tacoma or something with just a little V6. You'd be hating life, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You would have been before, but it'd be way worse.
Yeah. So still fun.
Okay, well, just got done with the test ride. Mark's still smiling, so I'm gonna guess that went well. Really, not much else to say. You've already said you're happy with the test ride and everything.
Test drive was incredible. I couldn't be happier, you guys. I honestly, I mean, obviously I've said it before, but the customer service the quality of the work, the timeliness of the work. I mean, you really can't get any better than this. Let alone, we're in tiny little Prineville, Oregon. I didn't get this when I was living in the city. This is, yeah, it's beyond happy. It's fantastic. I can't wait to go rally it and have fun. I'm gonna go find myself some washboard roads.
And to kind of gush back, I mean, we really appreciate you bringing this for us too, because this is the first really fun project we've been able to do, and hopefully just the first of many. But
yeah,
every other thing that we've done thus far has been small by comparison. I admit, it's been a thing here or there. We haven't been able to do a front to back one quite yet, and this was the first one for us too. So that was a kit. I'm sure when you see the videos, you'll understand what I mean by it's horrifying to take the front of these off.
Yeah.
But I made sure to make that time lapse pretty short for you, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, even just the update photos is like, wow, that thing is destroyed right now. Yeah, it's awesome. It's like, wow, I'm glad I didn't try and do that myself. Yeah, I would have screwed it up for sure. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go and rally it, and I'm excited to tell everybody who did it. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Perfect.
Really appreciate it.